opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of the Barbers Chat Network, our great partners at H&B Media, or any of our media peers. We're just five idiots who love sports and love to talk shit. If you're offended easily, then this show isn't for you. And for those of you who aren't offended easily, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Remember, it's only entertainment.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold. My agent just said we made 100 flat. Make it back and make it stack just like I'm Steven Jack. Put my rings up in the camera like I needed that. Up in the air and at the rim is where I meet them at.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. It is Monday, January 13th, 2025, man. It is your boy Scott here, your host each and every week on this show. Of course, you can follow me at Barbershare Scott on all social media platforms, man. You can follow the Barbers Chair Network at Barbers Chair Net. And of course, follow our partners, H&B Media, at H&B Media TV on Twitter and at H&B Media on Instagram, man. And of course, you subscribe to our Patreon, man, patreon.com/Barberschair Network. If you are listening to this on the podcast version, the link is right there in the description box. If you're watching this on YouTube, man, you can take your phone up right to the screen and click on the QR code. It'll take you to all three tiers of the Barbershare Patreon. If you subscribe to the $10 holler, that is the Barber's Chair All Access, you get 25% off your first order on the Barber's Chair Network store. That is bcnetshop.com. It is cold as hell in majority of the country. Go out there and get yourself a hoodie, man. Get one of those right now, man. So definitely do that, man. We've got a nice show on deck for y'all today. We've got a guest, our boy, the boy Illinois. Of course, you hear him each and every Monday and Friday on our theme song that we love so much over here. He's got a take about that new Jello ball joints tweaker that we're gonna get into, man. No Mikey today, no Dante today, and no Tulsa today. So it's the big three we got today. We got Courtney in the house, we've got Bang in the house. How y'all doing?
I have a question real quick.
Go ahead.
Who would I be in the big three?
That's a good question. Well, I don't know who you want to be. Dwayne Wade.
I'm gonna let you think about that.
I said I don't know. I'm gonna give you Dwayne Wade, even though I know Bang want to whip my ass for giving him Bosch. But
oh hell, man!
I'm LeBron.
Nah, I'll be Dwayne. Nigga. I'll be Dwayne.
I have no beef with Chris Bosh, so
but there you go.
Well, there you go. You Bosh.
I'm a role player, you know.
Nah, I'm straight on all that.
Okay, here's out between Steph, Clay, and Draymond. Who's here?
I'm okay with being Draymond. I'm
Draymond.
I'm
Draymond. You will crash out. I crash out. I'll be Draymond. I am the bully of the team who fight for people. I have
you're right. Yeah.
You're gonna make me be a light skin that's just so on the nose.
Yeah. Bang will fight. When Bang changes his tone, that's when you know he ain't playing with you. He will fight you. But
I am a yeah.
The big three is here. Dante's working on a steel mill somewhere. And Mikey is doing what he gotta do, man. So both Mikey and Dante be back on Friday, man. So we got a lot to get into. Crazy wild card week. Not really crazy wild card week. It was kind of sleepy, low key. But we'll get into wild card weekend in just a minute. But I want to start off here with talking to Bears fans. I gotta talk to our fellow fan base, me and Bank's fellow fan base. I need y'all to chill the fuck out. Now, this whole process, I just want to put this out here because I really feel like I've got to reiterate this because when I go on these rants sometime, y'all make me sound like I'm pro Ryan Poles, pro TED Talk Kevo, and pro George McCaskey. I am not. I understand the Bears and their 105-year history, which most of us have only been alive for 30, 40 of that history, that they have done nothing to inspire confidence, especially in this regime. And especially in the George McCaskey regime. George McCaskey took over as chairman in 2011. This team has made the playoffs twice and has not won a playoff game in his era. Last time they won a playoff game was when he was not chairman. That was the 2010 season where, Jay Cutler and Greg Olsen, they beat the Seahawks in that divisional round, and then eventually ended up losing to the Green Bay Packers when Jay got hurt in the national championship game. And it was Caleb Haney. Went down to the wire, by the way, until B.J. Rogers picked him off. But it's been a long time. So I understand they don't do anything to give confidence. And I agree with that. Like I've said on this platform, I believe they're going to mess up until they actually get it right. But that don't mean we got to react to each and everything. I feel like everything has been too much on social media. We're reacting to every little report that comes out that may or may not be true. Or we acting like just because Ben Johnson from interviews with another team, that means the Bears messed it up. Newsflash, people, it takes two people to tango. The Bears can give the best, presentation to Ben Johnson, but if Ben Johnson wants to go somewhere else, he wants to go somewhere else. That just is what it is. You have to look at other candidates when it comes to this job. Do I want Ben Johnson? 100%. And I said on Friday, I think when the smoke clears, that Ben Johnson will be the head coach by this time a month from now. I truly believe that. But if he's not, there's other options here where this is going on. And also, you got to know, we don't know if Ben Johnson and the Bears had a great interview because nobody knows outside of the people in that room. And I also tell you guys, watch who you pay attention to on social media. Even me, I'm not sitting in these rooms, nigga. What I learned is from people who are more knowledgeable in the Bears media space. There's only a couple Bears people in the media who I listen to when they speak about certain things going on in the organization because they got an ear to it. To me, if Brad Biggs says something, if Courtney Cronin says something, if like an Adam Hogue or Adam John says something, I got my ears perked up. Anybody else, I'm not really paying attention because the Bears are real, they keep to themselves. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know how this is. Everybody's hearing about, oh, he's enamored with the Raiders are enamored with him. We don't know. They might be head over heels for Ben Johnson. We do not know this. And also you got to understand that if the Bears do, let's just say the Bears had a meeting this weekend and say, Ben is our guy. They can't hire him till he's eliminated. So what you want to do? Just not interview anybody else? And I find it funny too, because knowing Bears fans, if the Bears say, you know what? Ben is our guy. We're only going to do him, maybe Todd Monken, and get our two Rooney Rule hires out the way. Then we'll hire them. Bears fans be like, well, if you look at who they've hired in the past, you should do a more thorough search. The Chargers interviewed 15 people last year before they ultimately hired Jim Harbaugh. These things don't matter. All I worry about is getting it right. I don't care about the process. They be like, Ron Rivera, why is he going in person? Whether we like it or not, he's an 85 Bear. So they at least like, hey, nigga, come here, we'll have some food and watch the playoff games because you won our only Super Bowl and help win one of our only Super Bowls in existence. We don't know what went on with them. So even if you complain about the team, that's fine. But what I need y'all to stop doing is complaining about things that got nothing to do with the Chicago Bears. Last night's victory for the Washington Commanders has nothing to do with the Chicago Bears. And I understand we having PTSD because the Commanders are having a season that we thought the Bears were going to have. Jaden Daniels is having a season that we thought Caleb Williams was going to have. The Bears are not cursed. They're run by idiots. There's a clear distance. What did the Commanders do? They got rid of their idiot owner, and they went out there and hired the right people. And that's really what it comes down to. I have zero, and I mean zero remorse for drafting Caleb Williams. I personally don't feel that Jaden Daniels in the system that Caleb is in does anything remotely to what Caleb did this year. I think he's way worse. And I think if Caleb was in Washington, oh, nigga, it'd be this times that because of the better system. That's how I feel. So I'm like, we got to stop reacting to everything that has nothing to do with the Bears. What the Commanders did has nothing to do with the Bears. Y'all did the same thing with the Texans last year. This is a year-to-year lead. The Commanders could go next year. They're in a rough division with the Eagles and just not be the same team. We go in there and see Dan Quinn have the same problems that he's had at previous stops. We can see Jaden Daniels with more film around him be back to being just a good quarterback, but not to the level he is on right now. We saw it with C.J. Stroud this year. I don't know where the hell C.J. Stroud be throwing half the damn time. That's not how he looked last year. You need to focus on your team and hoping they get it right. But the reacting to everything, you're not doing anything but stress yourself. Now, understand, I am trying to get logic out of fans. I understand the definition of fan is fanatic. There's no logic here. But you're not going to do anything but stress yourself out by constantly reacting to every single thing. Let it play out, ladies and gentlemen. That's just my take on that. Now, Courtney, I want to get your take. You said you had a take. You are the outsider here. I actually feel for you sometime when we ranting about the Bears in the group chat, and you just like, y'all give it up. What's your take on fans reacting?
Man, my thing is like, it's the guy that you want is literally playing against the Commanders this weekend. Like, that's the guy that you want. You're not going to get him anytime soon. If the Lions are on the trajectory that they're on, the Lions are going to end up in the Super Bowl, and you're not going to be able to hire him. Like you said, maybe he'll be your coach within, the next month. This time next month, hopefully Ben Johnson will be your coach. But just like, relax. Every day I'm seeing new tweets, and I just want y'all to relax. Like, let's be honest. Y'all are going to fuck this up too. It's probably going to get fucked up. I'm just saying, based on honestly, and I mean this with all due respect, like, I'm not even trying to be funny right now. I'm hoping that this is the time that y'all get this shit right, because the same cycle has been repeating itself. And like, if you're keeping Ryan Poles, you're going to hire a new head coach. Shit's going to hit the fan. GM's going to get fired, and then the cycle is going to repeat itself. And I'm just over it. I want better for y'all. I want better for you guys.
I want better for myself too. Bang, what you thinking?
I just be joking around in the chat. Like, I ain't gonna say I don't give a fuck, but at this point, I just be laughing at all of this shit. I don't have a problem with them interviewing 50 to 60 people.
Hey, Courtney, y'all doing a local out. She lose a bet. There's no local out today.
Yeah, I don't mind them interviewing. I don't mind them interviewing 50, 60 people. I want them to get it right. Like you said, the Chargers did that, and they found Jim Harbaugh. So it's like, all right, man. I do have faith in them not fucking this. Like, I don't think the Bears would fuck it up. I think the coach that they hire would fuck it up. Because if you look at it, don't get me wrong, I want Ben Johnson as well. And it's funny because me and my boss had this conversation. We only had one work conversation, and he asked, I told him about the double doink because he is a Washington Commanders fan. He asked me, who did I want? I said, I want Ben Johnson, but I don't mind a Super Bowl champion head coach. Like, there's something to a Super Bowl champion head coach. Like, you don't fall into being a Super Bowl champion head coach. So I wouldn't mind Mike McCarthy. I wouldn't mind Pete Carroll, but I want Ben Johnson. So to me, in order for them to fail in this, is just the person that they hired it just didn't work out. And I wouldn't blame the Bears unless they didn't give this person all the time to me and gave them all of the tools. You got a quarterback. You have got pretty much a pretty decent defense or players on defense. And to your point about the Commanders, when you look at the Commanders offensive line is mid. Yeah. Their defensive line outside of like Payne and like Allen's fell off. So outside of Payne, they're mid. Like, they don't have linebackers outside of Bobby Wagner that you love, and Bobby Wagner is old. They just got Marshawn Lattimore, and he was washed when he got over there.
Man,
they don't
beat like a drum last night.
Right. If you heard me say this, you've heard me say this on the show. You can't outplay bad coaching. The one thing that the team does have is good coaching. Good coaching for Cliff Kingsbury, good coaching from Dan Quinn, good coaching from their position coaches. They have good coaching. That's what we need.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head. Shout out my boy Shy Lando on Twitter. Said the same thing. Good coaching is the difference between everything. I still don't believe that this team is not talented. I know since the bad season, we act like this team is talented. There's still talent here. It just needs to be coached the right way. And I believe the NFL is too much of a year-to-year league for us to be up here, doing all this. But that's just my opinion, man. I don't want to spend too much on that. I do want to talk about these next two candidates who have hit the market. One, not just for the Bears, but one is actually going to be interviewing, is planning to interview with Courtney's team. That is Mr. Mike McCarthy. Very, very, very few times do I beat Mikey in the chat over something that he says is going to happen. Very rarely does that happen. But I was right this time. I told him that we got to wait till it plays out to see whether or not Mike McCarthy is going to come back. And to come to find out, part of the ways he will not be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. We're going to get into how this impacts the Cowboys in just 1 second. But Ian Rappaport, Tom Pelissero, Albert Breer all said that the Bears have interest in interviewing Mike McCarthy. They tried to do it last week, but Jerry Jones turned it down. So he's probably going to be interviewing with them and the Saints coming up. But a name that came up this weekend, fresh off beating Penn State in the semifinal of the college football playoffs, Marcus Freeman is said, not him said, but the Bears are said to be interested in interviewing Marcus Freeman. Now, we have not heard what Marcus Freeman's interest is in them. I'm pretty sure that's not going to even happen until after the 20th, after the national championship game. Will he even consider that? We know he just signed an extension. This is college. That doesn't mean anything. Whatever the buyout is, if the Bears really want him, I'm pretty sure they will pay him. But that is an interesting name that came in. To me, I look at it like this. At first, I was very against the Marcus Freeman idea because I don't want no college head coach. But I see the way he's turned around that Notre Dame program. I see the way that he's been in these college playoffs. And to me, yes, he does give off the CEO type coach thing, which could be hit or miss when you're trying to develop a young quarterback. But I'm intrigued at the least. I feel if there's any coach in college right now who was best equipped to make that transition, it will be Marcus Freeman. And I don't think it's a bad idea to at least sit down with him, gauge his interest, and see what it is. He's a young coach, and it lines up with your timeline. And honestly, from his perspective, let's just say they win the national championship, which I don't think they will. I think this is Ohio State's to lose. Let's just say they win the national championship. That's the pinnacle. You're not going to get any better than that. So you accomplish what you want to accomplish at Notre Dame, and maybe there's an opportunity to get better. So that's a chance I can see right there. And as far as Mike McCarthy, now hold on, go ahead.
Pause. That's some elite copium, brother.
How's that copium?
That's it sounds like you're trying to talk yourself into the Bears inevitably disappointing you when they don't hire the guy that you would like them to hire.
I don't. There's no disappointment for me. I'm already dead inside.
Fan of Marcus Freeman, but like, come on, that cannot be. We cannot say that we are intrigued by the idea of Marcus Freeman as the head coach for the Chicago Bears. That is not the guy that you want trying to develop Caleb and manage that locker. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I don't think it's copium. I think it's something that's intriguing. I don't think it's anything where if I was against it, I tell you I'm against it. I will fight everybody if Brian Flores is the head coach.
I'm just
that's copium to me. With Bam, what do you think about Marcus Freeman? Do you think I'm trying to cope on this one?
Like you're setting yourself up for disappointment, and I hate
I'm straight on that shit. I'm straight on that shit. No, I'm straight on Marcus Freeman. Marcus Freeman stay where he at. Nothing against Marcus Freeman. I think Marcus Freeman is a good coach. I think he's a good college coach, though. I'm straight on that Marcus Freeman shit. You know what I'm saying? Only reason why you get Marcus Freeman if you're trying to get some hoes.
Thanks, Orlando.
You said only way you get Marcus Freeman if you're trying to get some hoes. I didn't say that I want him. He's not on my top 5 list. I'm just saying that it intrigues me if they decided to go that way. That's all I'm saying. There's no cope with the Bears.
It's intriguing.
I'm dead inside.
It's intriguing.
What about it is intriguing to you guys?
It is intriguing.
I'm genuinely asking.
Because it's out of the box. It's out of the box, but it makes sense out of the box. It's not like, oh, let's just get the nigga from Iowa State. That is not intriguing. That's just what are you doing? At least Marcus Freeman has a winning background to where maybe that could be something that could work.
Got it.
That's all.
It is
I'm not saying it's on my
intriguing.
list.
It is intriguing, like watching an extremely crazy horror movie. It's like, yeah, it's intriguing.
But see, it's high octave intriguing. It's like, you can sell me on it. It's one of those. Like, it's very high on the Larry David, high voice spectrum. He's not in my top 5. But what brings me to Mike McCarthy. And somebody had a tweet. I wish I remember who it was. Said Mike McCarthy is the offensive version of Mike Tomlin. And I really sat and thought about that tweet for a minute. And then I went and looked at the records. And it made a lot of damn sense. If record-wise, he's up there with the Tomlin, with the Sean Payton. All three of them only have 1 Super Bowl ring. Both playoff appearances records have been around the same thing. I think the thing about McCarthy, and Bane, this went to what you were saying about how a Super Bowl champion intrigues you. Say what you want about McCarthy. Dak Prescott became a better quarterback under him. Now, playoff losses, we can sit up here and talk about which reason they lost. I understand he's not the best with the clock management, but as we saw this weekend, what coach really is Matt LaFleur, as good as he is, didn't know what the clock was looking like. I saw it time and time again. I think that's a coach problem in the NFL. He's somebody where at the least it will make sense. It's not a sexy hire. It's not something that Bears fans gonna like, but I think if anybody, he can help develop Caleb Williams.
Hey, you know what you can sell me on?
What?
You know what you can sell me on? You can sell me on a Mike McCarthy, Ron Rivera regime.
That's
you
an
can
old
sell
nigga
me on.
regime.
That's crazy.
Like you could sell me on that, because one thing that Ron Rivera gonna do is coach defense, and he probably not gonna be no head coach no more. And if you have that, and Mike McCarthy could just focus on the offensive side of the ball like he will be, and develop Caleb like he's developed others, you can sell me on McCarthy, Ron Rivera. You could do that. You need experience on this team. Like, if anything, I think, again, Ben Johnson, this is his job.
Yeah,
but
I agree. Yeah.
But what I also want to see is somebody that's going to be a disciplinarian, and somebody going to tell somebody that they shit actually smells like shit and that it don't stink instead of it don't stink. No, I want somebody who's going to lay down the law. And if you can't get Ben Johnson because Tom Brady then finessed him at the game, since he's going to be calling the game, then McCarthy and an experienced DC like Ron Rivera, and has some younger people that's coaching them, the position coaches and stuff like that. Like, you could sell me on that, and I'll be like, all right, I'm cool with this.
Yeah, Alex, you're right. Them press conferences gonna make me want to put a bullet in my head.
That's your problem, not mine.
That. If we're looking for good press conferences, that's why I was saying Mike Tomlin, because I really wanted to hear Mike Tomlin. But Courtney, what do you think about McCarthy? Because there's also rumors that he might be, he started and he I think he was the offensive coordinator like 03-04. Yeah. So your team is very much a possibility as it is.
Yeah, I don't know. When I think about who I want to be the head coach of this team, like, you guys are actively rooting for Ben Johnson, and I'm just like, just hit me with a car. Like,
no, no Aaron Glenn love.
This team, well, you guys have, like, and I'm being for real, y'all actually have something to look forward to as an organization. And, like, listen, I know I make jokes about, Spencer Rattler season, but, like, I'm not inspired to watch this team. Right. So when I think about the next head coach that I want to see develop Spencer Rattler and coach up Jake Haener, which is fucking crazy.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's crazy. No one moves me. I don't know, I guess Joe Brady, which is crazy that I'm even saying this. This is stupid.
But it's like what you said, the issue is y'all ain't got no quarterback. Like you said, that's the issue.
Correct.
Know what, real quick, Scott? The only way you can sell me on Marcus Freeman is if Marcus Freeman beat the shit out of the Ohio State Buckeyes. They beat the shit. They
that
beat the
would
shit.
Move me.
They beat the shit out of them. Then I'm like, oh okay.
High octave.
Right. And as somebody who hate the Ohio State Buckeyes because he hates his biology teacher from sophomore year, Like if that happens, it's like okay, I fuck with homie. You know
And he's
And
a
the
former
funniest
Buckeye.
outcome, Bang, would be Notre Dame going out sad like they did to Alabama back in, what was that, 2013? That was a
Yeah.
nasty national championship game. It was like 42-14. It was
Yeah.
disgusting.
So he beat the shit out of Ohio State. Hey man, shit. I buy the plane
Got my
ticket.
attention.
Well, and Marcus Freeman or Cliff Kingsbury, who we ain't got no confirmation on this, but sounds like remember CBS said this week that he was going to turn down the interview. Sounds like that interview turned down was the Bears because they confirmed he's interviewing with the Saints this week. But they didn't confirm the Bears thing, which I don't blame him. If you interview me for offensive coordinator and tell me no, you think I'm gonna take an interview with you for your head coach position? That don't make any sense to me. It said, what if Ryan Day wins the national championship decides to come in the NFL?
His ass could go to the Saints.
I will put a bullet in my head if they even
I can
Ryan Day.
speak for Ohio State fans when I say that they would be fucking just thrilled, absolutely geeked at Ryan Day leading that program.
My brother's opinion on Ryan Day, he put on his Instagram, he's a good man, Savannah, after they beat. But
you better say Ryan Jesserman Day better take his ass away.
After they lost to Michigan for like the fourth time.
Oh, he called him every name in the book.
Correct.
Every name. I want Ryan Day far away from the state of Illinois. Don't even try. There's no way. But let's move on to talk about the Cowboys spectrum of this, man, because the Cowboys now need a coach for the first time in a while. And I saw a lot of people say, we know Jerry doesn't do anything without thinking things through. He's 82 in his seat now. Are we really sure that he thought this thing through? They don't feel like he has, because now they can't even interview top candidates like Ben Johnson or Aaron Glenn or, Cliff Kingsbury until after they get eliminated because they didn't do the original virtual interview. So now opens up a whole bunch of different things. What they think about interviewing a Marcus Freeman. We've heard, I feel like the Deion Sanders stuff came out as soon as it was announced they're going to be a new coach. I think there's zero chance of him going to Dallas. To me, it makes more sense for maybe bringing a Kellen Moore back, have him been the head coach, despite how bad his play calling is. But I really feel like this is going to, and also, that too. You said Matthew Nagy music in Dallas. You laugh, but that might be a possibility.
He's redeemed himself.
No. There's a stat. I hope I liked it on Twitter. That showed Patrick Mahomes' numbers with Matt Nagy not being his offensive coordinator. And I didn't like it on Twitter, but there's a stat that shows the last two seasons have been Pat's worst offensive seasons, and that's because Matt Nagy's play calling. When I look at the offensive ineptitude of the Chiefs these last two seasons, it's because of Matthew Nagy. I see those plays in my sleep. But Alex, you bring up a good point. Jerry Jones is seat now. He might think of that. Orlando said Jason Witten. I could see an old school. They might try to do the Jason Garrett thing there. I think it's either going to be a splashy hiring or it's going to be somebody in the Cowboy family who has zero to little coaching experience. And Jerry thinks just because he was a former Cowboy that he's going to go out there and do that, because sometimes that loyalty will open you up. Same thing we see with Mike Vrabel. As I've said this entire thing, I never got the Mike Vrabel hate. Hype. When I said that he wasn't high on my list to get on the Bears, I was like, we give him too much for having one real good playoff appearance with Ryan Tannehill. If you look at his last couple games, he finished 13-21. I don't understand why they're acting like he hired Vince Lombardi, but he's part of the family of the Patriots, and that's why they said, "Oh, let's do this little quick Rooney Rule interview." It was so nasty they did Leftwich and Pepper Johnson in the same graphic. Same graphic. And we just gonna throw both of you niggas in.
We interview niggas.
Yeah. The Rooney Rule has been completed
today.
Exactly. We interviewed the blacks today, and we did what we gotta do. Now we're gonna bring in Mike Vrabel. I could see Jerry doing something similar he said we definitely don't want to be a minority head coach in Dallas. That's actually a good point. But that to me is something that I feel is going to be interesting once we get closer into one of these teams getting eliminated. Courtney, you in there in Dallas. One, do you have a pulse of what it's like? I know you probably haven't heard anything yet, but
yeah, I've asked a couple people what their thoughts were, and they just were like, kind of a weird. I mean, obviously his contract is up, so I guess opportune time to look for somebody else. But no, everyone's just like, okay, well, who are they gonna hire that's gonna be better? You know, and honestly, as long as Jerry's still alive, nothing is really gonna change. So, what are we doing here?
rich evil people stay alive forever. Just look at Jerry Reinsdorf.
Facts.
Just they stay alive forever. They take.
I'm telling you, the hate sustains them. I'm dead ass.
I like the good ones always stay.
No.
Jerry Reinsdorf is gonna live till you're 105.
Think about the worst people you know. Aren't they all ancient? Like,
Yeah,
think about
I mean,
some of the worst people historically. They all live to be super old.
Damn.
I'm just saying.
Mr. Burns ass niggas, I feel yo.
Just look at who's about to be inaugurated as the president in about what
And
a
bro's
week.
almost 80.
Yeah, he's almost 80.
Like,
You
what are we
understand?
doing here? What are we doing?
They said they walked into the past facility and the sensor went off like, don't be a menace. Rich, evil people get those president's doctors. He said, damn, so y'all telling me Hulk Hogan ain't down? No, he gonna be here forever. He gonna be here forever. And he gonna hear them boos when he do get put into the ground. But
boy, that episode of First Black Champ, I had the whites pissed off. Like they was in the chat before the episode started.
It's available right now on the Barbershop Network.
My bad on the graphic.
It's all good. It's all good. It's available right now on Barbershop Network. But yeah, Bang, what's your take on the Cowboys situation?
Man, I mean, first of all, shouts out to my man Mike B. Who's a Dallas Cowboys fan. Some dude pod. Gee, I don't know. Because it's like the fucked up thing about the Dallas Cowboy thing is they could have interviewed Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, but they did this bullshit. So because they did this bullshit, they didn't interview like the cream of the crop because now they're about to start playing. So I don't know. And that's the weird part of the situation. I can't even tell you outside of one name that I could see as the Cowboys head coach.
What's that one name?
John Gruden. John Gruden is the only person that I'm like, I guess he could be the head coach.
They on Barstool.
He said, what quarterbacks is Coach Mike Vrabel develop? All he do is run Derrick Henry into the ground. Fair point. Tony Romo gonna bring Romo back home. Think just because he can call games
to deal with that stress. Jason Witten, that would be interesting.
Jason Witten, they brought that up on Dallas radio.
Some shit that Jerry would do, you know.
It does. It really does. That's peak Jerry right there. I think too.
Someone texted me earlier and said, "Bring back Clappy," and I said, "Clappy?
Who?"
And they said Jason Garrett, and I was like, "Oh my god," because he's always.
Oh my god!
I was like, "Is that?"
Yo, did anybody find that Tony Romo is like terrible now? Like, I think the hate that Tom Brady gets calling games should be on Tony Romo now. Like,
I've never liked Tony Romo.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
I like what Tony, like, I can appreciate what he does, but sometimes it almost, I don't like when, I mean, again, I understand as someone who works in sports entertainment, I understand that not everybody that attends a sporting event or even watches a sporting event knows what's happening. So I can appreciate wanting to explain and in more layman's terms, some of the more complex football terminology, but it's every single thing. Oh, well, they're gonna do this here, and that means, oh my God, just stop. Maybe just stop talking. Let the game breathe a little bit. It should, but it's,
I don't know, Jim. It's like he get a hard on every time.
It's like, man, Tony Romo is Gomer Powell for the old heads. He's Gomer Powell.
Hey, that's my mom's joint.
His ass a dope. Like I just never liked him. He just like a dope.
My mom loves the Andy Griffith cinematic universe.
That's why.
But Damien, that's a good point too. What about Mike Tomlin? I understand the Steelers said they're not going to.
I don't think it's going to be Mike Tomlin only because who's the young coach you're going to replace him with?
CBS will fly Romo.
They probably would. Now, like you have to look at the history of the coaches for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And if you know that history, it is only like 3 head coaches, and no 2 in my lifetime, 3 in like my parents' lifetime. Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin. Who's the 34-year-old coach that's going to be with this team forever?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. Like, I don't know who's that young coach that they're just going to pluck and he's going to be with them for 18, 20 years. Because they're not going to get an old person to do this. They're going to get somebody that they feel like they're going to last. So I don't think there's somebody out there. So I don't think they would trade Mike Tomlin unless they knew that there was somebody out there that they could get that's young and for the low. That sound real bad right there.
A little bit. A little bit.
For young,
yeah, that sounded crazy. Well, I thought,
crazy.
Yeah, that sounded nuts.
Who they gonna get young and for the low?
Yeah, don't let Drake hear that. So I want to talk more about the Steelers in just a minute, but before we get into our wild card recap, I saw this thing that came up. It's a potential change in the playoff seeding that they're going to vote on this offseason. This is something I do not think will be approved by owners, but they want to change it to, just because you win your division, that you don't automatically get a home game. They will go to percentage of win percentage. Number one, I think there's 0 chance it gets approved by the owners. Number 2, it's stupid to me. One thing I'm tired of in sports, and it's not just NFL, it's not just college football. I'm tired of first round playoff ditching. When we look at the stat, but the final score, they're blowouts. There's only a couple good games. You got to get to the first round. I don't believe the playoffs should just strictly be the top 4 or 6 best teams. No, I don't believe that. Well, what about these up-and-coming teams, getting to the playoffs? Like the Commanders. If we had that, we wouldn't have that exciting Commanders game we had last night. Those storylines matter. Just because you get the better teams doesn't mean that those games can't be blowouts too. And so it's like we see that with college football. They've been talking about seeding all playoffs. We're seeing that today from this wild card weekend. When the NBA playoffs start, what we always do, they need to go back to best of 5. I don't agree with that. I feel like in the playoffs, at the bare minimum, you deserve 2 home games. That's the bare minimum. And baseball, why'd you get rid of the wild card game? I've always been anti-wild card game. I don't feel if you played 162 games, you should have 1 game on the line, your season on the line. I just don't agree with that. I think at the bare minimum, you should get a chance to bounce back from that. And so I think when you're going off percentages, what makes the NFL so great, it's kind of the same thing that makes the MLB so great, and something that doesn't make the NBA so great. Divisions matter. Nobody cares about who wins a division in the NBA because it's based off better record. Nobody cares about that. So I think to have that division rivalry, to make those games feel more important, I feel like it should be, you win your division, you automatically get a first round playoff game. That's why I put it at 0 chance of this. I'll be stunned if owners approve this. But I see what they're trying. They're trying to feel a way to make it better because the fans complaining. But to me, that would just be a stupid move. Courtney, what do you feel about this particular change in the playoff?
Yeah, I just think it doesn't. What incentive do you have to win your division? What is the? I'm asking y'all. What is the incentive to win your division?
At that point, it would be none.
Correct. So yeah, no, absolutely not. I think that's completely ridiculous. I understand that fans don't want to see blowouts, but that could happen. We're going to talk about it in a little bit because me and Bang were
Mr. Papa in the Twitter said, when can we shit on the Packers? We're getting there, brother. I can trust you. We're getting there. Give me a second.
Yeah, but Bang and I were jokingly calling it the Chargers bye week, and then look what happened.
Yeah.
Look at what happened. The Texans did the exact opposite of what most people were predicting that they would do, and Justin Herbert shit the bed, and we'll get into that in a little bit as well, because I got some opinions. Okay?
Y'all finna kill my boy Herbert. I can already know.
So sorry. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'm going to talk down on your white quarterback. I know that's a very...
Hey, one of mine still alive, Mr. Joshua Allen. I can't wait to talk about that.
It's my fault, though. I gave the Chargers too much credit, and they didn't deserve it at all.
I gave them too much credit, too. I thought, it's hardball. The Texans been mid all year, but we said at that point, just get rid of the division. Have the top 17.
Point, just a free for all. Let's just start the scheduling. Let's get crazy. Let's get crazy.
Yeah, but then that's, to me, it takes the joy out of division matchups. Like it makes it less important. Bane, what do you think about this potential?
Joy. Create some new rivals.
The divisions here matter. Like the NFC North matters. The NFC East matters. The AFC West matters. Divisions matter in football. So no, I am staunchly against this, and I think this is dumb. To have even the conversation, because a couple of fair weather fans is out here talking about, so we should do this. No, I hate this conversation because I hate whiners. I hate whiners.
Preach, brother.
Because I didn't get this, then I want to complain about this. No, motherfucker, blame your schedule and blame your division. Divisions matter. Division rivals matter. Bears, Packers matter. Packers, Minnesota. Packers, Detroit. Bears. Fuck, back in the day, Bears, Tampa Bay mattered.
Are you sure we aren't just holding on to nostalgia though?
But
like
that's
not nostalgia.
No. Courtney's right. No. Courtney's right. Nostalgia, yeah. We holding on to it. Because
staunchly, that's a
staunchly is not. No, that's a white. I've never heard, like, that's a white person's word.
That is, y'all never heard
white people like, I'm a staunch Trump supporter. No, that's a white person's word, Marley.
Yeah.
But no, divisions matter and nostalgias matter. Why? The reason why we watch football the way we watch it is because of nostalgia. There's so many white people in on the south side of Chicago that love the Bears because of 1985, and there's a other section of them old ass folks that love the Bears because the 1963 championship. And there's about a few old white people that is holding on because the last time they really fucked with the Bears was Sid Luckman. Nostalgia matters in football. Look at the most popular teams in football. It is all about nostalgia. Even Kansas City got nostalgia about them. They won the damn Super Bowl. Hank Stram, and all that shit.
Matriculating down the field.
Yeah, like football is about nostalgia. So yes, when you talk about football, you talk about divisions.
I guess it's mostly when you don't have anything good that happened for your organization recently, you like hold on.
No, because Green Bay
live off that title town crap.
For sure, but they have more recent things that have occurred for them. You know,
have they?
Yeah, but them motherfuckers still talk about Barca. But
Obama was in his first term when they won the Super
like
Bowl.
the Bills. When's the last time the Bills have done anything?
I'm not saying you wrong, but anytime you talk about the goddamn Bills, I hope we finally win a championship because we went to the Super Bowl 4 times. Like Kansas City went through that whole shit. Like they always went to the AFC championship, but didn't get no farther. These motherfuckers in Green Bay still talking about Ray Nitschke old ass and shit.
I only bring this up simply to say that you can still have those games scheduled.
Why
not try to create new?
I'm gonna give you
you can, but you can't. You can,
Courtney,
but it don't hit right.
I'm gonna tell you why. Here's why. What's one of the main problems we have in the NBA? There's no real rivalries. We do not care who wins the Central Division with the Knicks and the Sixers, and I don't even know who else in that division. The Celtics, because they don't play each other that much. There's no hate because it's all just got the top 6 and the bottom 4. They make the playing games. There's no rivalries there. What makes the NFL, what makes football great, is rivalries. And if you delete the divisions, that takes a lot of the appeal of football away.
Yeah, I ain't saying you wrong, Courtney. I think you're 100% right.
I don't really think there's no wrong. Y'all aren't wrong either. I don't think there's really a wrong or right here. I feel like it's all just a matter of how intensely you feel. Like, don't get me wrong. I fucking hate the Falcons with everything in my soul.
That's a blood feud.
How you feel about the Packers is how I feel about the Falcons. But like, if I didn't have to, I'd be down to play somebody else. It just doesn't.
Our feud
occupy that much mental real estate that I'm like, I can't wait to beat the shit out of the Falcons.
Not the shit on your teams and your opponent, like, and your rival, but the Falcons got here like the 70s.
Yeah, that's true.
And the Saints did too. Like we have this shit in our blood.
Yeah.
That
Yep.
shit's ingrained in us. So
That's
that's
totally
why I was
fair.
saying like specific feuds. Like the Baltimore Ravens is like probably the perfect example, right? Because them motherfuckers moved and they hate the Browns hate them niggas, like hate them. They had to be in the same division. They had to. The Cincinnati Bengals is basically an offshoot of the Cleveland Browns. They hate them niggas. Like there's division rivals that hate them niggas. Now, can you have a situation like in the 90s, the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers? Yes, because they hated each other. And when you have those two teams
They
that's
still
good at
do-
the same,
they
and they
still do,
still do.
honestly.
And when you have those two teams good at the same time, or if you have the Colts and the Patriots good at the same time, then like that's perfect. And when you even think about those teams, the Colts ain't really got no real rivalry. Like the Ravens don't hate the Colts because them niggas moved from Baltimore.
But the
to
Ravens and
goddamn-
Steelers is
but
Bloods
the
and
Ravens
Crips.
and Steelers though,
Ravens
they
and Browns.
right, that's blood feud. I told the story here on this podcast about how the Chris Conti game almost broke up my family. Like I laughed
I
jokingly.
got to it with Chris Conti himself.
Yeah, like my father, I jokingly laughed like in frustration, and my father, you think this shit funny? You think this shit funny? This shit ain't funny. You see what the fuck happened?
Hey,
like
hey,
my
next time Mike
father-
on here, ask him how long it took me to move from that chair
Yeah,
after
like-
4th and 8. I was sitting there just like I was watching ABC News, nigga. That's how much I couldn't leave from that chair.
like, yeah, like it just hit different. And if you split that for the sake of playoff seeding, I don't give a fuck about like that. We had a terrible ass season, but we beat the Packers. And I was on a big ass meeting.
It's like Michigan. You're like, our season sucked, but we beat
like-
Ohio State.
Yeah, I was
Right,
on a big ass
exactly.
meeting. I
understand.
was on a big
I get
ass
it,
meeting. The
guys.
president of the company was shitting on me and shit. Like, your Bears suck. I was like, but we beat Green Bay. So all that shit you
That's what
talking,
made yesterday
Right.
so sweet. Because
Yeah.
somebody said, when the last time the Bears beat us? Oh, you missed last week, nigga? That's
Yeah.
when. The jokes hit better when I know we last beat
Yeah.
you. That's
And
what
especially if it's, you know what? I know Detroit, when Detroit didn't make the playoffs, what was that, 2 years ago? They didn't make the playoffs. But you can't tell me that they didn't feel good about their life
And
when they kept Green Bay out that bitch.
Yeah,
Ah,
exactly.
no.
Here's the problem. I'm gonna end this topic on this. As the many games I covered the Bears these last 4 years, whenever we play division rivals, no matter who wins that game, what is the chant as the both fan bases are leaving Soldier Field? Green Bay sucks.
Yeah.
No, think of Vikings and Lions. No matter who won that game, we're unified in we hate them niggas. That's why we
And
need to
listen,
keep this.
I support the hatred. All I'm saying is, why can't we have more hatred, more diverse hatred?
Nah, we don't want diverse hatred.
We don't want. I want to hate
We
them
want
niggas
segregation
forever.
in sports.
Yeah,
all right?
Crazy.
Sports segregation.
We're
Exactly.
for segregation in
only
sports.
hating you don't want to spread the love a little bit, like fuck
No.
the Cardinals? That's
No.
crazy.
I don't.
That's
No.
crazy, guys.
No, I
No.
don't. I want Detroit fans to be brought down to their knees next week and
You know what?
realize we still the
Courtney,
Detroit Lions.
You know what, Courtney? Yes, but we want that for playoff time. Like, for example, the Washington Redskins. When I was living in the DMV, shouts out to my OG out there, Doc Walker, former tight end for the Washington Redskins back in the day. He said, I hate the Bears. I hate them motherfuckers. Like, he came in my office. Yo, Chi-Town, we play the Bears. I hate them motherfuckers. I hate Mike Dicker. I hate Richard Dent. I hate the Fridge. I hate Wilbur Marshall, even though we played on the same team afterwards. He hate them.
I
but
would
he
take a
hate
piss
them.
in front of the Bar Star trophy.
Yeah, but he
Not
hate them
trophy,
for
but statue.
playoff time. Because when they came up, when they went up against each other during the playoffs, it's like, all right, now you're trying to keep me away from the ring. So I know if you ask Eric Dickerson, Eric Dickerson, like, fuck the Bears. If you go ask Eric Dickerson, I guarantee you, Eric Dickerson.
There's
say,
a lot of old
"Fuck
Niner
them."
fans who feel the same thing about the Bears. The old 80s rivalry.
Yeah.
The Bears and Niners better
But
come
it's the
times.
playoffs. Now
It's the
it's really
playoffs, yeah.
like, yo, you keeping us, we 14-2. Your ass is 13-3. You keeping me away from a ring. I know if you ask Mike Singletary about the 19, I feel old as hell. Orlando, shut the fuck up. I was 2 at the time, so I don't know. But I guarantee you, if you ask Mike Singletary about that 1984 NFC Championship game or that championship game where the Bears played San Francisco and they lost at Soldier Field like 31-3. I guarantee you Mike Singletary coached San Francisco, was like, but still is like, fuck them motherfuckers at the end of the day. I was just here to collect the goddamn check.
I agree, man. Keep segregation in football. But moving on, let's recap Wild Card Weekend, man. I thought it was a mid-weekend, to be honest with you. There was only one game that really delivered. That was the Commanders and the Buccaneers. But you know, I love it. I feel like football is, even when it's bad, it's still good. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's like pizza. Oh, you know, the funny thing, I'm not gonna name who told me this, obviously, but a certain friend of mine, his father told him, mind you, we like 15 at the time he told us. So he probably shouldn't have been telling us this. He told us, he's like, y'all niggas learn later, but eventually he said, pussy is like pizza. Even when it's bad, it's good.
Yeah.
And I was like, at the time I didn't get it, but I'm like,
yeah.
He's not really wrong there.
He ain't really wrong there.
Even when it's bad, it's still good.
It's,
you know,
did what I came to do.
Right, better than having no pizza. You know.
Hey, Courtney, how you doing? You straight? You covered your face. What's on your mind? HR friendly. I don't need you. I don't need you putting a lawsuit on me.
A single tear in the corner of my eye.
You got
putting a lawsuit on me.
Like, you got the Denzel and Glory too. But
do y'all feel the same way? We'll say that for the text group. We'll say that.
Don't say that here. We'll say that for the group chat. Anyway, moving right.
Hey, don't.
We don't want to blow the spot up on here.
Blow my spot up. I don't want no.
Yeah, I was 15 when I was told. I was like, okay.
I am not Skip Bayless. Don't.
Oh my God.
We need to send this to Barber's Chair HR.
And HR is literally just Scott in a room
with a different hat on. Me with a tie. I'm Barber's Chair HR. I'm like when Idris Elba was on The Office. That's me in the Barber's Chair HR.
Put on the clip on. Yeah. You turn around with a clip on high.
My name is Scott.
Can I speak to the manager? Literally,
can I speak to the manager?
I am your manager, B.
You made some inappropriate comments on the January 13th episode. We need to speak to you. But going to the Commanders, man. Commanders feels like everything goes right for this team, man. They won 23-20 in a doink that actually worked. Now, I tweeted earlier in the afternoon. It says Scott wearing glasses is his HR hat. Yes, exactly. I tweeted earlier in the afternoon. I forgot who doinked one in. But I said I no longer have double doink PTSD.
The doink in for the Commanders?
No, before that, there was a dunk like a regular field goal. It might have been in the Eagles game. Oh no, it was when the Packers missed it. The Packers missed that field goal, but it doinked off the side. And so I said I didn't have any more double doink PTSD. But then I saw that double doink go in. And the first thing that went in my mind was like, everything goes right for these niggas. Like, so you just have a season where there's no mess ups. Because as many times I've seen the Hail Mary from whatever week that was when the Bears lost, what annoys me about it ain't even the Hail Mary. It's the play before. Where Matt Eberflus said, that extra 13 yards didn't matter. It mattered more than you can imagine because Jaden still underthrew that ball. And even, like, there's no way it should have been tipped into the end zone. So you have that. You have their comeback against Philadelphia after Jalen Hurts got concussed. You have the way that Marcus Mariota let it come back in the final game of the season for the 6th seed. They just always have things go right for them. Cliff Kingsbury goes through his midseason, rough patch, and then he bounces back, calling plays like he's Matt LaFleur. And so I'm just like, everything goes right. And I put in the group chat, as soon as the Buccaneers didn't get a touchdown and went for that field goal to tie the game, I put in the group chat, get ready for the Mickey Mouse Jaden Daniels comeback. Walk off. And let me be clear. Courtney asked, why do I call him Mickey Mouse? I don't hate Jaden Daniels. I'm going to get my CM Punk on from, what year was that, bang? 2011?
Mm-hmm.
We said about John Cena. I don't hate Jaden Daniels. I hate the idea of Jaden Daniels. Because y'all doing the same thing y'all did with CJ Stroud last year. And when more film comes out on this nigga, and if he has a mediocre year next year, y'all going to be killing the boy. Oh, well, maybe Dan Quinn shouldn't have been hired. Cliff Kingsbury, we got to rethink that decision. And now after
Dan Campbell,
we've already hit that part of the cycle, though. There was a point in this season when people were talking.
But that's my point. That's my point. But they bounced back from it. He said Dan Quinn trying to be Kirkland, Dan Campbell. I hate the idea. And I have these idiots saying, "Oh man, why can't Caleb do that?" I'm like, look, I have remorse about a lot of things to Bears. Drafting Caleb Williams ain't one of them. And this ain't like what I see when Mitch was the fourth or fifth replacement on the Pro Bowl, and he took that picture with Patrick Mahomes and Freaky Sean, and it was like that meme of one of these don't belong. It's not one of them situations, man. But it leads to stupid conversation. But then you got the defense playing well outside of Marshawn Lattimore, balling. Bobby Wagner out there looking like he's in the Legion of Boom again. Every play call was hitting for the Commanders. And it looks like this is starting to get closer to season team of destiny vibes. Now, I don't know. We'll get into divisional round storylines later, what their actual chances are against Detroit. But they look very much unguardable because of the way Jaden plays football. And that's what we saw last night. Bang, what did you think about this Commander voodoo that we've been seeing this year?
I hate these niggas. I do. I hate them. Like, fuck. Like everything. Like literally everything. Like everything these niggas do. They what? Like, somebody got to point me to the game where it just didn't work. Like, is it because of Magic Johnson there?
Them Dan Snyder sins wiped away.
Nah, fuck all that. They still a racist ass organization. They still the same. Come on. They still the same organization had a racist ass owner. All them sins don't wash away just because Daniel Snyder there. Like, no, I am so frustrated about this. But here's the thing. Remember we had a season like this? What year was that?
2006, the Super Bowl season.
No, not even the Super Bowl season.
What year was this?
Super Bowl season. The 2001 season when we lost to.
Oh yeah.
Ed, no, hear me out, because I don't think these motherfuckers winning in the playoffs. I ain't going to the Super Bowl.
You talking about the R.W. McQuarters season?
Yeah, like R.W. McQuarters, Mike Brown, all the shit was going. Not even the. We knew who you was. We let you up. Not even that shit.
Like a lot of things did go right for the 06 Bears.
Yeah, but the 2001 team, it was like shit. Can't nothing go wrong. And what happened? We lost in the divisional round after having a bye. And then the next year, what happened? We was in Champaign and we stuck up the joint.
Yep.
All I'm saying is be careful, not only Commanders fans, but all of these people anointing Jaden Daniels. I think Jaden Daniels is going to be a good quarterback. But look at C.J. Stroud and look at others who have started off so fast, and then all of a sudden y'all started to anoint them, and then next thing you know, they was mid. That's all I'm saying. Like, you see Ross Tucker on the score.
Yeah, I see
talking
that.
about some
10 times out of 10.
Like
they made the wrong mistake.
No, as I said, you can't outplay bad coaching. Dan Quinn, Cliff Kingsbury, that team coaching-wise are excelling right now. They are excelling right now. But what happens next year when you got the tape that's all on you and everything? What happens when you play a harder schedule? Like, what happens when now people are game planning against you better? What happened when you start losing people? What happens when shit don't fix? I'm not making a decision that we made the wrong decision until year 3.
Yep.
Year 3, that's when you're going to see me go, I told y'all niggas, or damn. And I don't think we're there yet. I think a lot of people are just jumping the gun because they are looking at things as this season and this year season only, and they're not looking at this for 15 years. Y'all thought Peyton Manning was going to have the greatest career. Y'all thought this motherfucker was going to be Johnny Unitas. And is Peyton Manning a top 5 quarterback ever?
Definitely.
Probably. But he ain't number 1. The motherfucker that was drafted 199 in the 6th round is the greatest quarterback and the greatest player of all time. And y'all ain't think shit of that man, especially when Drew Henson took over the starting spot over him at Michigan. Give that man 3 years. After 3 years, let's bitch, moan, and complain.
Courtney, we know you are a Jaden Daniels fan. He used to play for your Arizona State. What you think about the Commanders and just this magical season they've had?
Yeah, some, like you said earlier, some teams just every year there's always one team that has like the devil magic working for them. I was hoping and praying it would be the Denver Broncos, but they went out a little sad. So I mean, yeah, good for them. Like Bang said, though, people have a tendency to focus. It's a lot of recency bias that happens in sports. And people are going to forget, even with the dismal performance that CJ Stroud had this season. And even in that game, if I'm keeping it a buck, his defense really did him a lot.
Yeah, he threw some BLTs in that game.
Correct. His defense really bailed him out. But if people are even going to try to forget this season, that CJ Stroud had an incredible rookie season. Like, just be patient. Just be patient, people.
Yeah, and the thing about
let's revisit this next season or the season after, and then we can have the discussion like we are going to have about Justin Herbert here in a little bit.
I think that niggas was doing the same thing with Jordan Love. But trust me, we finna get to that nigga too.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as Tampa, just quickly on Tampa, this is what I would do. I like Bunny Colvin, aka Todd Bowles. He'd fire that nigga and promote Liam Cohen. That's what I would do. And he looked like he didn't know what game he was watching. We got to make sure we stop Jaden from his left, which is all right, and make sure we do the right thing. He got to go. I'm sorry. You don't want Liam Cohen to leave and go somewhere else, and take that offense with him, man. That they need to figure that out right away. Let's go to the Eagles Packers game, man. I got a couple things to say about this, man. One, thank you, Eagles, for doing what you need to do and taking the Packers out. But this style of play is not going to work. I don't care who wins tonight between Minnesota and the Rams as far as we're playing y'all. I mean, I want Minnesota to lose. But y'all will get washed if y'all play the way that y'all played yesterday. Jalen Hurts, 13-21, 131 yards, 2 touchdowns. I saw a lot of Eagles fans on my timeline Saturday night taking a victory lap over Justin Herbert's bad game, saying, don't y'all ever talk about Jalen Hurts again. I don't care how many picks Justin Herbert throws. I know one thing, you're a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. I know that damn much. We get with like nobody outside of Eagles fans puts Jalen Hurts on this pedestal that we have. I know we all make jokes about, Lamar Jackson's running back. No. Jalen Hurts is running back. Just look at the all-time stats for the Eagles. They went out to on a good start, and the defense played well, but this offense ain't gonna cut it. Go ahead.
No. Because I'm wondering. I'm just thinking out loud. What's Jalen Hurts' passer rating in the playoffs?
In the playoffs, that's something I gotta Google.
Damn, I forgot it.
Now, because Justin Herbert's is 60.7, 60.
Yeah, okay.
2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 515 yards in 2 playoff games.
And this is gonna sound like a cop-out, but Jalen Hurts has had a way better roster to work with than Justin Herbert.
Oh, brother, here we go.
Is that a lie?
No. I'm saying here we go. We're gonna get into this is the cop-out excuse. Every time somebody wants to talk about freaking Justin Herbert. It's hypothetical man. What if man? What if he had a better roster? What if bro didn't have
Hypothetical
Keenan
man.
Allen, Austin Eckler, Mike Williams, and don't get me wrong. I know that all those dudes are fucking injured all the damn time. You breathe on them or you look at them wrong, okay, and they're injured. But come on.
I mean, but who was he throwing on? He had the best wide receiver this year was Ladarius McConkey. That was the best wide receiver yet.
Calling that man Ladarius.
I would love to see him with the Devonta Smith and AJ Brown in his book that he was reading. By the way, I don't buy. I know this pictures him with that book ever, but I really think he does not like this nigga Jalen Hurts.
Correct. When I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, he can't stand Jalen Hurts.
That used to be his homie. That used to be his ace. Not no more.
He knows that noodle arm nigga is not good enough to get on the ball consistently. But that's
my man now.
Anything on the Eagles before we go into Green Bay bashing, like I've been waiting for?
I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping about the win because sometimes you have wins like that, and stuff like that. I ain't really tripping off of it. It takes you get you another week to figure out what your deficiencies are and move on. In the playoffs, hey man, I'm just trying to win a motherfucking game and all that shit. I ain't got to win beautiful. I ain't got to win ugly. I just got to win. Like it don't even matter. However, when you are the number 2 seed, you have different expectations. So I ain't mad. You just got to win, at the end of the day. But shit, they got to fix something.
Courtney, anything on the Eagles before we move on to Packer bashing? That is a fine. You muted.
Play the song.
Never mind.
You lucky that nobody else is producing there. I couldn't get to the button fast enough.
Okay.
Yeah, boy, go ahead. Anything on the Eagles?
No. You're good. We're cool.
Okay.
But Jalen Hurts had a passer rating of 111.4 in this game.
That's ridiculous. Well, that's why your number stats do lie. Jay-Z lied on that. Numbers do lie. Let's get you're right. Let's get to Green Bay bashing. The Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love stinks, nigga. Like, let's just cut it. I've had enough. No more. It's Matt LaFleur, Gen Z, Marty Schottenheimer. That's a good one. Gen Z, Marty Schottenheimer. I am so tired. If I see one more meme introduction to a playoff game and look at the history of the Packer franchise, they went from Bart Starr to Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love. He is not cut from that cloth, ladies and gentlemen. He is not Brett Favre. That nigga should be in prison, but he is a good quarterback, Hall of Fame quarterback. Aaron Rodgers, one of the worst human beings to ever grace this earth, but at least he was a great quarterback in Green Bay. Jordan Love ain't that. I give him his props for getting paid off 8 games. No matter if he is a Packer, I salute any black man who can finesse a white organization into giving him money off 8 lousy games. The first half of that season last year was not a barrage. That's who he is. And what makes it even funnier is you had this nigga in your building for 4 years. It's not some surprise that he's playing like this. He throws the ball in crazy situations way too much. We got picked off 3 times yesterday. It could have been 5. Niggas dropped a couple. Could have been 5. And we need to understand who the Green Bay Packers are. They're an okay team that the media just gives too much love to because they are the Green Bay Packers. Nostalgia. I hate that. I hate Title Town so much. If we counting NFL titles, nigga, the Bears Title Town too. Let's count our 9 segregation era NFL titles. If we doing all that, Title Town is New England. Title Town is Pittsburgh. I don't want to hear all of that. Title Town, nigga, 1945. Let's use some of the Bears NFL titles then, all right?
This is the second time in this episode where I have real tears.
Like, come on, man. The frozen tundra, where Kaepernick came in and beat y'all every time. Y'all got beat by a nigga who is Huey Freeman from the Boondocks. I don't want to hear it. I'm tired of it, all right? I'm sick to my stomach of Packer propaganda. Enough. They ain't won a championship since Obama had black hair. Last time they won a championship, Hey Daddy was the #1 record in the country. Enough. This nigga stinks. Enough of the Jordan Love stuff. I
Oh.
saw on the media today. Love Chris Long, but he said, "Oh well, he was hurt." No. Everybody in the NFL playoffs right now is hurt. He stinks, and we need to accept that and move forward. Matt LaFleur, I give him credit. He is doing as much as he can with that sorry nigga he got throwing at football. I'm tired of it, bro. Enough. I've had it. Enough of that. Oh, he said Jim McMahon can't remember y'all Super Bowl. You mean the Jim McMahon who wore the Bears jersey when y'all won the Super Bowl when Bill Clinton was president? Get out of my face. Anyway, bang. I'm gonna give you the floor.
Hey man, first of all, segregation Super Bowls is
segregation Super Bowls, Jim Crow Super Bowls.
Segregation Super Bowl might be the funniest thing that I've heard on this show in quite some time. And we say some funny shit, but segregation Super Bowl has you won. Now, to add to your generational rent.
This is this week's clip.
Yeah, to add to your generational rent. Green Bay. Yeah. Y'all paid $55 million for that shit. All right. Look, Jordan Love is ass. You don't expect no quarterback from goddamn Utah State to do anything with their life. All right. But be a backup. Y'all pay for that shit. Y'all talk. Jordan Love is the example of why you don't crown niggas after year one, because y'all was all on that nigga dick about how he was this, he's that. They might have found their next quarterback, all that. I've been saying, y'all gonna find out that man ain't Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre. Y'all gonna find out that man is goddamn Don Majkowski, my nigga. The dude that was the quarterback before Brett Favre. Y'all got Don Majkowski. He ain't no generational quarterback. So look, y'all have fun with mulatto mid quarterback. Because basically what's going to happen from here on now is fuck Caleb Williams at this point. We ain't even going to talk about Caleb Williams. Jordan Love better than this motherfucker. Sam Darnold better than this motherfucker. The dude from Nazareth who's going to be the head coach at Nazareth in 10 years is probably better than this motherfucker. Henderson Hooker is going to be better than him. And yes, B-Dot, yes, they are on their way to Caprini Green because they just paid that man $55 million. He's the majority of the goddamn cap.
No, B-Dot, don't say hi. Don't say hi.
Yeah, don't say hi.
Stay over there, nigga.
Yeah, stay your ass over
there, nigga.
Don't
get mad at us because Jersey ain't got a football team.
Yeah, don't be mad at us. Fam, y'all pay for Huffness. And y'all about to get this shit. Y'all was supposed to be in the ghetto these last 2 years. You expect it now.
For the record, everybody's paying for Huffness. That's the state of quarterbacks. Every team is so afraid that they're going to miss out on their window and have to start the shit all over again and it's fucking stupid.
Except for who? The Bears. We ain't do that shit. Yeah. We ain't pay Justin Fields $40 million. We ain't give him a damn Daniel Jones contract.
A fluky block kick away from Caleb Williams being 2-0 on the Green Bay Packers.
Yep.
Who was the last quarterback to beat the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field? I think it was Caleb Williams.
That man mid. And he gonna blame that shit because he hit his funny bone and he couldn't feel his hand.
I hit my funny bone. I can't throw to other niggas. Anyway, Courtney, you got anything on the Packers? And then we'll go on to Justin Herbert.
I ain't got nothing. Y'all summed it up perfectly for me. How could I ever top that?
And Justin Herbert ass mid too. His ass mid too.
Well, there's a perfect segue into Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers, or as I like to call them, the Carl's Jr. Chargers, because nobody cares about that team in Los Angeles. Nigga, the Angels got more fans.
Niggas ain't say Hardys. That nigga call them Carl.
The Carl's Jr. The Jack in the Box Chargers. The El Pollo Loco Chargers. Shout out to LA. Shout out everybody out there, man. That's who them niggas are. They are the what's another? They are the Raising Cane's Chargers. That's who them niggas are. But Justin Herbert, man. He said Justin Herbert has the bozo gene that y'all think Joshua Devontae Allen has.
Two truths can coexist at once, Orlando. Two truths can coexist at once.
I'm going to give Courtney the floor here to start because she has been on the Justin Herbert it's not that good train for a while. I'm gonna give you the floor.
I just want to know respectfully what he has done to substantiate this fucking goat talk. I'm asking y'all. This isn't just like a rant. What the fuck has Justin Herbert done? Oh, he broke this record and has done. Oh, well, he had Brandon Staley and he had. How many other quarterbacks have done more with less? Okay, I'm not trying to fucking hear it.
Who's gotten away with more than Russ?
He got one more year, okay, which is one more than he deserves. He's got one more year. Everybody, you want to. Oh, well, Courtney, I don't know. I'm gonna dump my stock and I'm gonna pick up all that stock. If fucking Jalen Hurts had the game that fucking Justin Herbert had yesterday, mind you, Jalen Hurts threw 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. I know you say it wasn't a great game. That's fine. I can live with that. Objectively, was not a great offensive game.
This gonna sound like more give him somebody's bill, but 2 of them picks
went on. If Jalen Hurts had the game that Justin Herbert had yesterday, white people would be calling him all sorts of racist slurs in his Instagram comments. He would have had to turn that shit off.
Well, let them niggas lose next week. You're gonna hear Philadelphia fans come out. The city of brotherly love, my ass.
Justin Herbert catches more bail than any other quarterback in the NFL. Oh, well, they weren't even supposed to make it that far.
Yeah, they outplay what they did better than expected.
Bro's not I will say it now. Bo Nix is the best quarterback to come out of Oregon, and also plays in that division.
Here we go. Can we stop? Can we stop with the Bo Nix?
You don't have to like it.
Can we stop? I wonder what was the Chargers and Broncos record against each other? Who won those games? I need to go back and look at that.
I like split.
Yeah, okay. I like Bo Nix, man, but we doing a lot. We doing a lot.
Man, Scott, Justin Herbert is why we need to bring back the tier 2 and tier 3 quarterbacks.
We
got to bring them back. No, we don't.
But that's the thing. People are trying to put Justin Herbert in the same category.
That's what I'm saying. We don't.
Allen and Lamar Jackson.
That's what I'm saying. We don't.
Really more of a Tua.
Yeah,
we need more Mick Carters.
Like that. That's what I'm saying. Like you're right. They're trying to.
He's really more of a Nick Mullins.
Like they're trying. Damn.
Come on.
Sorry.
Come on.
Like back in my day, you had the Steve Youngs and the Troy Aikmans and shit.
Bang, you were doing nothing to help your I'm not old allegations, by the way.
Nah, fuck it. I don't give a fuck. I'm 48. I'm happy I'm 42. But yeah, like you had the goddamn like Dan Marino's and Joe Montana's and
the Jim
Kelly's and all those.
Yep,
you had Rodney Peete. You had Eric Kramer. Like you had Jim McMahon. You had niggas who was good. They had good careers.
Come on, man.
They was good careers. They wasn't mid. They had good careers.
The best thing about Rodney Peete's career is he married Holly Robinson Peete.
That's
enough.
Hey, the nigga was considered a mid-level quarterback in the early 90s. All right. You didn't put everybody in the top. You had your sections. Josh,
we still do have these sections, Bang. The problem is that people, because there's so much poor quarterback play in the NFL right now, we got shit a little discombobulated.
That's what I'm saying. No, we need to uncombobulate that shit. I don't know if that's a word, but we need to uncombobulate that shit. Put niggas in their right tiers and leave it alone. Like, there we go. Orlando, you talk about me being old. Motherfucker, you said Stan Humphries.
Nigga. What kind of NFL film's name is that?
You're not beating the allegations when you say Stan Humphries, my nigga. You're not beating the allegations.
You know who killed Lincoln?
I mean, hey, Damien, if you went to school, all right, motherfucker, John Wilkes Booth, my nigga. If you went to school, no, I ain't mad now. I'm just saying, if you took class, you should know. You passed the test. Like, but no, like, you had, hey, if you want to get old, let's talk about the Saints, nigga. Bobby Hebert, like, yeah, niggas like Bobby Hebert, like, all right, that's a decent ass dude. He ain't gonna win me a Super Bowl, but he's a decent ass quarterback. But shout out to Bobby Hebert. God damn it, you got quarterbacks. We just need to stop forcing people in these roles.
I wanna come back. We gotta park this conversation. I know my boy Illy is on the time.
Shouts out to Bobby Abear though. You know
So
what I'm saying?
Courtney,
Let's
we're
say
gonna
you heard
give
of
you
Bobby
a
Abear
power
now.
play. You get like 10 minutes. So when we're gonna bring Illy in real quick.
Hey, go
man.
look up some Bobby Abear stats, Courtney.
Bobby Abear.
Bobby
We've
Abear.
got the homie Illy in here, the boy Illinois. You can follow Illy at LED Williams.
Yeah.
On
No,
Instagram.
at the boy Illinois. It's still
At the boy, no, my bad. You changed it.
Yeah.
At the boy, no. Said bang. I almost called Damien a slur.
I almost did. I'll be right back. Though. I almost did though. A couple of times. Damien know what the vibes are.
But anyway, man, we got Ellie in the house here, man. We got a specific topic that you wanted to talk about. We had a good conversation about it earlier. You talked about this. You've been talking about this on Twitter all week. Talk about Jello Ball and his song Tweaker. That's been getting a lot of love everywhere. But I feel like today it kind of hit, I guess like peak. I'm looking for the tweet right here from Sham. So this happened today. LiAngelo Ball has signed a deal with Def Jam and Universal Music Group, a representative from his label Born the Ball Music Group. Sources said the deal is worth as much as $13 million, $8 million guaranteed, and gives full ownership to his label. Now, I want to give you the floor to say you went on your tweet rant and explain to the people what you meant by your tweet rant.
Yeah, so first of all, Shams put that out like it's a sports contract. So I would like y'all to go visit DJ Brian Z, who runs Audio Mac. He broke down like there's no such thing. The way that Shams broke that contract down, that don't work like that in music. For me, let me get this out the way. I'm not mad at Jello. I'm not mad at him. I'm more so looking at our culture as we don't really gatekeep anything, and we reward mediocrity a lot, and it dilutes the culture. I think Ebro spoke on this not too long ago, how there's no more gatekeeping anymore. And every time you say you don't like something, you're a hater. That's how we got so far into this drill movement. I remember when the drill movement first started, those who are against it, oh, you a hater, let them young ones get their money, da-da-da-da. We fast forward 12 years later, everybody's either dead or in jail. It's all good until it ain't. And I feel like right now we're setting it's bad optics and it's a bad example. See, I'm looking at things past just now, right? In which I sent you a screenshot of somebody like, man, that's all it takes. Shoot, I'm finna start rapping. Those are the optics right now. Everybody's like, he got that much off of one song? Shoot, maybe I need to start rapping. That was the same sentiments people had when drill popped off. Like, oh, this is easy to do, and it's not easy to do. There's no gatekeeping in culture anymore. There's nobody saying, hey, if you didn't really do the work, you don't deserve X, Y, and Z. And we've seen it time and time again when people come in, they don't do the work. They're here and they're flash and bang. They're here for a quick second and then they're not here. And it's like, we could have handled this a lot better. Jelly Roll has a video speaking about these TikTok artists that blow up too quick. Timberland was talking about there's no artist development. And at the end of the day, it hurts us as a genre and as a culture. And all in all, like I think this for me, this was the straw that broke the camel's back. And other people, you speaking on how like other rappers, they rap. I don't consider them really rappers. That's a glorified hobby for them. Like Dame can rap, but he can't do shows. He has an NBA contract he has to abide by. So you're a part-time hobby rapper. And I feel like part-time hobby rappers should be in a compartment that we shouldn't take serious. They shouldn't be on Rolling Loud stages. They shouldn't be doing tours. They shouldn't be signing contracts. So that's really what it is to me, because now the optics is, oh, your brother a week ago just said you should quit rapping. Quit basketball. Oh, let me just go rap. And bam, like that, you blow up out of nowhere. It's setting a bad example for everybody else. The younger kids, the younger people that want to do this, it's like, no, this is not that easy. He has a family name. He hooked up with a stream. It's certain little intricacies that help him get to this point. And everybody is really acting like this is a hit song. This is a viral song. There's a difference between a hit song and a viral song. That song is a viral TikTok song. Nobody knows this song past the hook. Nobody. Not one person.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Hit song, Not Like Us. Viral song, Tweaker. Bang, you had responses. I know I'm going to give it to you. I know Illy's not with us that much long onto this episode, so go ahead.
First of all, when I put that in the group and Gene tagged Illy in it, I was like, oh, shit. I think I fucked up. No, after hearing Illy, he ain't wrong. Like, he's not wrong at all. It's a catch-22 for me. especially being in radio. Because let me let you know, boy, when that tweet from Shams before Shams came out, when it started to come out that he signed a deal with Def Jam, we were all on a call. And everybody was like, yo, that's bullshit. He ain't signed no deal with Def Jam. That's cap. We ain't even got no email. We ain't got nothing. But then when Shams put it out, I sent it to everybody. And boy, when you tell you shit got quiet, they's like, oh shit. They gonna come to us and ask us to play this shit. Like
y'all gonna have an interview with Jello soon.
Right. They gonna ask. I guarantee you we are going to get a Zoom call with Jello, or when we're all together, they're gonna bring Jello in to talk about this song. Now, the reason why I say it's a catch-22 is because I do think it's a place in hip-hop for fun. And when I listen to this song, I'm not listening to this song for bars. Like Illy said, I don't know anything else he said, but it does sound like some shit from 1999. Like I like the song because it makes me think of me and my senior year.
I'm sorry to interrupt, which is crazy because if this came from any older artist, it would be, oh, this old nigga, this old.
I was just about to say that.
So that's the funny part of it is that
I was just about to say
the coach has been shitting on older music for so long, and then he has an older sounding hit, and now it's like, come on, man, what do y'all really want?
We are on the same page. It sounds vintage because we're vintage. Orlando been calling me old every show we do. We're vintage, but Nelly could do a song like this, and we wouldn't give a fuck. Others could do a song like. The No Limit thing here is very interesting to me, and here's why. We love No Limit 1996, 2001. I'll say 1996, 2001. And if you like me, you heard older No Limit stuff, so you maybe say like 1994, 2001. Like, we love No Limit, but you wasn't trying to go see a No Limit show when the tour happened. It's like, now you hear that shit, and it's like, man, that shit sound whack. But then you hear Jello and it's like, yo, this shit, oh man, it brings us back to blah, blah, blah. That's why it's a double-edged sword. It's fun till it ain't fun no more.
That's what I'm saying. It's cool.
And that's why after hearing this from Illy and the way that he said it, I understand it. Like it's a time in the
real quick. It's my DJ friend. Shout out to Pat from Paz, my Haitian brother. Because he brought this up. It's very similar to the DJ culture right now, where everybody think they can get behind the turns
100%.
Because they got a name. Shaq, he is not a DJ. He is a name. And those who actually really do it be sitting back like, I feel you, but this is an art form and a craft that I work very hard at, and now they're getting all the bookings. And now what really people are starting to realize is like, hey, these transitions is whack. This don't sound good. Why did he go into this song? It's like, yeah, it's all good until it ain't. The NBA, we was all analytics, 3-point shooting. Oh, let them do their thing. Now the ratings are down. It was all good till it wasn't. Same with rap. Rap just started to get kind of its traction back. But last year, all the topic was, oh, ain't no more number ones. Everybody signing Afrobeat artists. This, that, and yes, because the rap is the only genre where the barrier of entry is so low, anybody can. Little RT. That shouldn't even be a thing. He shouldn't even be a thing.
And I think too, and I when we talked through text earlier, that's why I wanted to have you on, because the thing about Twitter is it's very hard to get your actual opinion off without people misconstruing it in different ways. Like when I was arguing with Bears fans, I was like telling them, "Tighten up, nigga, your skirt is showing." I had to explain it more on here.
Yeah,
and I think that, I think too is like, if you go through entertainment, and I was telling you about the Jerry Springer documentary I watched this weekend, and one of the producers like, we're the reason there's so much crap TV on. He said, we knew what we doing was bullshit. We knew that our daytime TV wasn't like an Oprah or things like that. I've said many times on this show, and you brought up a good point. Like, even though I work extremely hard on this, I'm not a journalist. So I don't book story, but at least there's a craft to it. So if I was an artist,
there's a seriousness and a passion to that, right? And that's it's just, for me, in the long run and the grand scheme of things, before I close out, it's not good culturally. and we need gatekeepers again. But Jason had brought up before I go how I used to be mad at Andrew Barber and all that other stuff, but like I was like a young ignorant dude. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't.
Shout
privy
out
to
my
the
boy
industry.
Drew,
Shout out
friend of the
Drew.
program.
But like he had to gatekeep the shit because it's a
Yeah.
lot of bullshit in music. You can't just
Yes.
post everything. And now that I'm older and being in this industry as long as it got to be gatekeepers, man. And some of this stuff just got to need to be leave it where it's at and not bring it too far. Like that AB put that shit on, it stayed where it was at.
Yeah.
It didn't go further than where it needed to go. Cool. So, but that's all I wanted to say. I got to go pick up my little one dad time. You know what I'm saying? Bang, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely, definitely.
Love y'all,
Illy,
man. Always.
Follow at the boy Illinois. We appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. We're gonna take a quick break, 1 minute break. I'm about to say pays bills. There's no paying bills. It's just a break. But we'll have Courtney back on the other side, and we're gonna get into some of these divisional round storylines as we get ready for divisional weekend in the NFL, man. So we will be right back.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna.
Welcome back to the program. Courtney, do you have any more Justin Herbert stuff before we move on?
I don't, but I am rereading some of the comments. Orlando said New Orleans would trade Bourbon Street for Justin Herbert. Brother, that's not the gotcha that you think it is. I would trade the first French quarter for like a season and a half of fucking Geno Smith. We're become horrendous over here, okay?
Yeah, that was like the dude on Twitter who was arguing today about.
I would trade my siblings for like 2 years of Kirk Cousins, even now.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I mean, that's kind of like I was arguing with this dude on Twitter today who we were talking about Bears coaching options. And I said, Brian Flores is 100% the worst out of the realistic options. And he went on to say about, oh, they love him in Minnesota and he's a winner. I'm like, yeah, they love him as defensive coordinator. I was like, ask the niggas in Miami who's actually head coach. He's the reason that Tua has therapy. And we can sit up here and talk about how good you think Tua is. He's the reason that Tua had self-esteem issues for a point. And if you consider 10-6, 5-12, 8-9 winning, then we have different discussions about that. So the bar's in hell.
I'd
say who's your favorite mid quarterback?
Who's my favorite mid quarterback? Like ever?
Who's your favorite mid quarterback?
Like you just like to root for him, even though he's not great.
It might be Mark Brunell on the lowest of keys, or Dante Culpepper, even though he was a Viking. But
yeah, my favorite mid quarterback is Jay Fiedler. Like, it's just something about that name. Like it's just like he looked like Jay Fiedler looked like he had.
Oh no, I got one. I got one. He was our quarterback, Jay Cutler. I'm sorry, I like Jay Cutler. I know I'm not one of the few. And then we know you have valid reasons for that.
Shout out to Brad Johnson.
Brad Johnson,
good mid quarterback.
Good mid quarterback, made the Super Bowl. Rich Gannon.
Yeah, go to a Pro Bowl or two. Be in the NFL quarterback club.
The NFL needs more mid-tier quarterbacks, just like the NBA needs more role players.
Ooh, that's another one. Yeah, Jake Plummer.
Oh,
we forget about Jake Plummer.
Yeah.
We should never forget about Jake Plummer.
Never forget about Jake Plummer.
Jake Plummer out there in Arizona smoking all the weed.
All the weed, bro. He was hype on them sidelines against Texas, bro.
He was high.
Fitzmagic, another good one. And that's a couple, but Cuddy, my man. I'm sorry.
Mine's Brock Osweiler.
That's a good one. Brock
Osweiler. You know, mid quarterbacks was the quarterbacks you always played with in Madden. Like, if you didn't want to play with like Steve Young and all that, like you go get you a good mid quarterback and take that team to the Super Bowl. Yeah, those are the ones.
It's like what y'all say on some dude. Mid don't mean whack.
Yeah, it don't.
It don't. Mid can be is what it is. It's not bad. It's not good.
Yeah, hey, they have a long career.
Long careers, man.
careers.
Yeah.
Elvis Gerbach.
Elvis Gerbach. That's a
Ooh.
name. That's a name, people.
Hey,
But
Scott, clip this. We need
mid
to.
quarterbacks.
Hey, shouts out to Jesus Piece. Me and Jesus Piece would go back and forth all day long about like old basketball card players and shit. That we need old basketball card players. Players that ain't shit, but you know who they are because they basketball card. Like we need them back too.
I'm like that with baseball. Like I can sit up there and like I'm like, oh God. Remember like Richard Bleer fucking from the Francisco Giants? Exactly.
Yeah, what the fuck is that? I'm interested.
See, Ray Durham was one of my favorite random baseball names.
Like
Ray Durham.
you know who a random baseball card that I had and turned out that dude was halfway decent? Rusty Staub. Like I ain't Rusty Staub.
I say actually I might have his card in this random stack of random baseball cards that
like
I need to go. Oh, I got 2 dupes in here.
Yeah, we need that. We need card athletes back.
Yeah,
you get that card, they huff as hell, but you had their card, you fuck with them. We need that athlete back.
100%. Yo, Orlando, you naming out a lot of names, man. Rusty Greer. You
Matt
gotta be on.
Hasselbeck is an elite pull because I definitely wanted a Matt Hasselbeck Seattle Seahawks jersey.
Matt Hasselbeck.
Never even been to Seattle.
Hasselbeck is
the Hasselbeck family is mid.
Yeah. I don't know. Tim was trash.
Yeah, he was.
Tim was trash. He wasn't mid. Tim was trash. Let's go to these actual division round storylines. So every divisional matchup is pretty much set. We're just waiting for the outcome of tonight's game between the Vikings and the Rams. Winner of that will be going to Philadelphia to play the Eagles. But Saturday kicks off with the Chiefs and Texans at Arrowhead Stadium. The nightcap on Saturday is the Washington Commanders. Oh, that's a good one. My cousin named Vinny Testaverde. It's a good one. It's a good one. Hey, Drew Bledsoe, nigga. Let's not forget about Drew Bledsoe. Nigga. Drew Bledsoe. But yeah, nightcap, Washington headed to Detroit, play the Lions, then Philly versus the winner of this game tonight, and then the game that we're all looking forward to. The final game on the schedule next week. Ravens going up to Western New York. Is it Western New York? I think it's Western New York, Buffalo, to take on the Bills. Been having this debate all season. Who's MVP? Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. We've having this debate for years. Who's the better quarterback? Josh Allen. Lamar Jackson. This is going to be the narrative bowl. Not only this is going to be the narrative bowl, it's going to look like the 1950s on Twitter. You're going to have all the people who hate black quarterbacks. I am not one of them. I do not care what you niggas say. I said a couple months ago that Lamar's finally shut me up. I think he had an amazing pass here. Oh, that's enough. DeMario, that's a good one. Chad Pennington, nigga.
He played for the Jets, right?
Yeah, Chad Pennington. Yeah, exactly. Orlando, right. The TL is gonna look like 1957. It's gonna look like there's gonna be water all on the timeline. Dogs, nigga.
Jeff George,
another good one.
We're just gonna randomly say mid.
Yes, we're doing that for the rest of the show. Any mid quarterback that comes to my head. Oh, I got Jake Delhomme.
Oh, make a Pro Bowl, might sneak in a Super Bowl. Jake Delhomme, Chris Chandler,
Chris. That's the name. Dante Culpepper's on there. Dante Culpepper. Niggas got the get your roll
Dave
on.
Craig.
Woo.
Matt Shaw.
Matt Shaw.
Yeah.
Matt Shaw. Jeff Hostetler. You can't forget him.
Oh, Jeff Hostetler. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Can't
Super
forget
Bowl.
him.
I am very excited about this Bills-Ravens game. My bad.
No. Thank you for bringing us back to the topic.
Correct.
I'm very excited about this game. I think this is I don't want to say last chance. Obviously, both these guys are great. They've been competing for the championship for years. Thank you, Damien. Aaron Brooks, another good one. But this to me is both teams' best shot to beat Kansas City. And that's why there's so much on the line here for them. In the first meeting at the beginning of the season, the Ravens beat the brakes off of the Bills. Josh had his worst game of the season. These niggas had zero answer for Derrick Henry. And I do think that's going to be a storyline that we're not talking about, Derrick Henry's impact on it. We'll get to actually who we think is going to win on Friday and give picks. But that's from a storyline. I can't remember a quarterback battle like this that I feel like so much is riding on from a narrative perspective. Because even though we've had great games with Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes. Joe Burrow even beating Patrick Mahomes. Joe Burrow, one of the only two quarterbacks to beat Patrick Mahomes in a playoff game, him and Tom Brady. And you had the couple games between Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. That was never a question about who was the better quarterback between those two. There, depending on who you ask, there's a lot of varying answers you'll get about who's the better quarterback between Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. I was firmly in the Josh Allen's better than Lamar Jackson camp, and I changed my mind this year. I think when it comes to generational talents in the NFL at quarterback, there's only two. There's Mahomes and there's Lamar. The way I've seen Lamar throw the ball this year has been incredible, and I got to give it a lot of that to Todd Monken and the way he's changed it. He made you show the difference between him and Greg Roman when it comes to play calling. But I'm excited about this game. I think this is definitely going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a close game. But we all know the MVP isn't decided in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure they vote when the regular season's over. And if you look at who became the All-Pros, it feels like the Lamar Jackson is rightfully the favorite once again. But the conversation about who should be MVP in the public perception is going to be determined on Sunday night. Courtney, tell me about your excitement for this game and what are you expecting from this game?
I just really want to see Lamar be great. I don't want it to shape the conversation that we have, especially since obviously it's who's gonna, it's MVP talk, right? I just would hate to see the Ravens with all of the weapons that they have go out sad and then just think about what the conversations are going to look like on Monday. Oh, well, Josh Allen did this with freaking Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid and Khalil Shakir. And it's not going to be a good look for Lamar, who's had to deal with these doubts and these people that have doubted him. That would suck. I would hate that for him. I'm not a Ravens fan, but that would really, I feel like it might set him back. I feel like it might set him back. Obviously somebody's got to lose. It should not be the Ravens, but I feel like this would set him back again and put him back in a spot where, he kind of has to prove himself again, if you know what I mean.
I do believe there's way more on the line for Lamar than Josh Allen, just because narrative wise, even if the Bills lose, it's gonna be like, well, look what the Bills did. Nobody expected them to get this way. Like on top of him being a black quarterback, there's way more on the line for Lamar, and there's gonna be a lot more unfair Lamar narratives for him, especially if he plays bad, than it will be for Josh Allen. Bang, what's your take on this matchup?
Hey man, this right here is high quality football. This right here is high. This is what make rivalries. This is when you get those Steve Young versus Troy Aikman. You get the Dan Marino versus whoever. Like this is what we're talking about here. Like, I love this matchup. I love everything about this matchup. This is must-see television. Can't wait for this matchup. Particularly 1 and 2 in the MVP voting. I think Lamar got more All-Pro votes, so a lot of people think it is going to lean to a more Lamar because of the MVP voting and stuff like that. But no, I can't wait for this matchup. It does not feel like it's the closest to. This is like that Super Bowl matchup you want to see. With an NFC or AFC championship you want to see, but you're not going to see it because you got Patrick Mahomes over there. Like, this is what it is. I can't wait for this. I might not even put a FanDuel bet up for this. I might just watch this as a normal fan.
This is like if in wrestling, you know what this kind of reminds me of? This kind of reminds me of not when it was The Rock and Stone Cold, because to me that's Mahomes and Burrow. But this is kind of like when Triple H would have good matches with Kurt Angle.
Yes.
That to me is what this is like. If we're gonna use a wrestling comparison, and I do feel that there's been a lot of unfair criticism for Lamar this year. If we even look at the way they worded, who had the most total touchdowns? Now, before, when you would bring up total touchdowns for Lamar, it was, we don't really care about the running. Now it only matters. Even when they call the games, it'll be a run. And as big of a Josh Allen fan as I am, that we've seen Lamar do that same run countless times, but it gets reacted to differently. And that's why I think it's here. That's why I think it's going to be a close game. But like I said, like somebody said, I'm betting 2 Allen touchdowns, 2 Henry touchdowns. Yeah, The Rock versus Triple H. That's a good one. You know what I'm saying? But even then, I think if Joe Burrow's in, that's why I would look at. Because to me, the 2 spots are solidified. I think it's Mahomes and Burrow. But this is definitely Triple H angle. But I think the wild card here is Derrick Henry. Like, we're looking at the quarterback matchup, but the Bills had a terrible time trying to stop Derrick Henry early in the season. This is why you also win these games. This is where losing the games that the Ravens had no business losing early on the season might bite them, because they got to go to Buffalo. I would feel way more confident about their chances if they had to come to the bank. Out there, Bills Mafia, and not that they can't play in weather, because they can, but it's going to be a little different for this defense on the Ravens. Ravens defense has closed the season well, but it's a lot different playing Josh Allen than it is playing Russell Wilson. And that, to me, is where it's going to be decided defensively and also in the running back department, because I think Derrick Henry is going to have a game. But from a quarterback standpoint, this is going to be incredible. Any final thoughts before we move on to our next topic?
No, I think you hit the nail on the head on that one.
Said it's gonna be Taker versus Mankind, Hell in a Cell type game. Definitely. When some niggas getting thrown off the top of we got a couple more names. Kyle Orton, Joey Harrington, EJ Manuel. EJ Manuel might have been trashed. I don't know if he was mid. I think EJ Manuel was kind of trashed. Heath Schuler.
Hey, Heath Schuler was ass. Hey, Heath Schuler was ass. Heath Schuler, when you ass when you become a U.S. senator, like that's like when you have a political career, you're ass. All right. So,
Tommy Maddox. Tommy Maddox.
Yeah, hey.
Tommy Maddox. XFL to NFL.
Yes.
Tommy Maddox. Frank Reich, like you just named. Frank Reich got a couple coaching jobs because of his little lucky postseason he had.
Hey, Frank Reich, greatest comeback in NFL history.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think it was. It was. Well, the greatest playoff. Remember we had the way the Colts came back.
Greatest playoff.
Yeah, greatest playoff comeback. But let's move to the other big stories in this division round. This Detroit Lions. We talk about the Bills, how much is riding for the Bills. Those 4 Super Bowl losses in a row and them having a great chance to win this time. The Detroit Lions trying to make up for what happened last season, where Dan Campbell said fuck it multiple times, and the aggressiveness is the reason they lost to the San Francisco 49ers. You want to talk about aggressiveness. And as Orlando said earlier, Dan Quinn was trying to be Kirkland Dan Campbell. You're going to see, I think we're going to see 3 punts tops this game. If I was a betting man, I would bet on how many punts. Then we'll see on Sunday. We're gonna talk to Mikey on Friday and think what he thinks. But this is why, like I said, we'll make our picks on Friday. This is why this is a dangerous situation for the Detroit Lions, in my opinion. The Lions have everything to lose. They have to get it done this year. We don't know what this team is going to look like next year with possibly both of their coordinators gone. There's a huge possibility that Ben Johnson 100% going to be gone. But there's also a huge possibility that Aaron Glenn is going to be gone. Now you got to get that. And now you're going to really see just how good of a recruiter Dan Campbell is in the CEO coach type of mind, trying to replace both of those outstanding coordinators. They have to get it done this year. The NFC North is not going to get any less competitive. Minnesota's still going to be there. Green Bay's still going to be there. We hope that the Bears will build and they're going to be there and Caleb will progress. This is not going to be an easy division going forward. You got to get it done now. And what you never want coming off a bye week is a team where everything is going right in the Washington Commanders. They have nothing to lose. They go on there and they can get blown out. It still was an amazing year for them. And you don't want to play with a guy like Jaden Daniels who has nothing on the line, and it's going to be hard to defend. There's a difference when you're going up against a Sam Darnold, who is great of a season as he's had. I'm still not 100% sold on. And I think you're going to see the Vikings 100% sold on him when they tag him. But Jaden Daniels is very dangerous here. Cliff Kingsbury, very dangerous here. Terry McLaurin, look at those injuries they have in Detroit. Who's going to be able to check him? Now, I do believe Detroit's the favorite. I think Detroit should win. I picked Detroit to come out the NFC, and I'm going to continue to pick them because that's what was my preseason Super Bowl matchup with them and the Chiefs. But I think they're in dangerous waters here, and I think the Commanders got a real good shot to, have some history the whole happened this weekend. Courtney, what do you think about this matchup? And the storylines we got with that.
Yeah, the Commanders are giving very much Arizona State vibes. Nothing to lose and everything to gain. And I have said it before. I think the Commanders were ahead of schedule. So I mean, I don't expect them to win by any means, even with all the injuries that Detroit has. I don't really expect the Commanders to win, and I'm not. We'll get into picks, on Friday, but I don't think that they'll win. But that being said, Detroit does have to get it done. You'll never have a clearer path in the NFC than you do right now. So you better go get that shit done. And that's with the Eagles. Yeah, the Eagles offense is terrible right now. So you got to get it done. You got to do it.
100%. Bang. What's your feeling on Saturday's game?
Nobody give a fuck about the Detroit Lions but the Detroit Lions and J.R. Bang. No, I have put my allegiance with the Detroit Lions to take care of what they got to take care of with the Washington Commanders. However, you're right. All of the pressure, I mean all of the pressure, is on Detroit. This might be your last year with the whole entire coaching staff. You got Aaron Glenn, who was thought to be the front runner for the New Orleans Saints thing, but then you got Mike McCarthy coming out there, possibly taking your job, which means that Aaron Glenn and that defense got to come out with 2 pick sixes. Like, they got to dominate. They have to show Jaden Daniels that he is a rookie. And the way that they've been beating up on teams has been dope, but they also have had situations where they've let teams stay in, they let teams rock, and they've been in some you're going to have to outscore me games. That can't be the case here. In order for the Detroit Lions to really show their dominance, they got to beat the shit out of the Commanders. Simply put, they have to beat the shit out of them to make the rest of the NFL scared. And I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, go ahead. Courtney, has something?
No, someone asked if I claim Jaden Daniels as a Sun Devil. In my heart, I do.
So is it like my brother claims Joe Burrow because he graduated a Buckeye?
I was at Arizona State when Jaden Daniels was the Arizona State quarterback. So I have a special.
Okay, well, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
he was my quarterback.
My brother be like, well, Joe Burrow, he graduated a Buckeye. Oh, okay. We'll get you that. Final topic of the day, man. Final storyline of the day. The road to the three-peat begins for the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs lost 2 games this year, but really only lost 1 because the last one was Carson Wentz playing. Like, they punted that game. They already had the Division 1, already had the number 1 seed one. They're trying to do something that's never been done in NFL history, and that has become the first team to three-peat. A lot of teams have got it close. You got the Steel Curtain Steelers got close. The 80s San Francisco 49ers got close before Joe Montana got killed by Lawrence Taylor. The 90s Cowboys got close. Was a debate today of whether or not that was pass interference over Michael Irvin in the end zone. A lot of people debate that from day one. They had that. There was a chance with the Denver Broncos, but they never got close. I don't even think they made the playoffs that year. And then the Patriots had a chance in 2005, but they got eliminated by was it the Denver Broncos or was it the Chargers who beat them? I think it was the Denver Broncos who eliminated them in 2005. But since then, nobody has gotten close Patrick Mahomes has had his worst statistical season, but this defense has been great. The offense has done just enough. And Travis Kelce was on Pat McAfee today, and he said, yo, we've been hearing the whispers. Everybody, starting to talk about what chances the Houston got. I think this is going to be important, and I think that really it's going to be a tough road. I don't really know exactly who we can expect the Texans to be. I feel like the Texans defense and defensive line is good, but they're not as good as they showed this Saturday. I think that's more of an indictment on the Chargers than it shows how good that defensive line is. It's going to be much different when you're trying to get up against that Kansas City offensive line, especially on the road. And I believe this defense will have their way, or at least expose C.J. Stroud even more than the secondary of the Chargers did. But I think that them having home field advantage, unlike last year, is definitely going to help. And I think they have a legitimate chance to do it. I said it at the beginning of the season. I believe they're going to three-peat. And then, Tom Brady is going to, start to think a little bit, this nigga get a little close to my records. I think that they're not worried about beating anybody. I think that they live for this type of stuff. To hear everybody talk about we're talking about Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. They hear all the talk. And I really think that when everything is settled, that they're actually going to three-peat. That's going to be the first thing we see in NFL history. Courtney, what do you think about their chance to three-peat? And really just do the Texans even have a chance for this to even be a conversation?
Any given Sunday, it can happen. Will it happen? I'm highly doubtful. But I don't. Honestly, I think whoever wins that Ravens-Bills game can beat the Chiefs this year. Something, I know they've had some, good teams do, all the little things. I get it. I'm still thinking about that Denver game where they won off a blocked field goal. They've had a lot of things go in their favor. And I'm just saying that I don't feel it this year. I don't feel it. Maybe I'm being delusional because I don't want it to happen. I don't feel it this year, guys. I don't believe in the Chiefs.
Did you feel it last year? Did you feel it last year? Because I had a similar conversation last year.
You're absolutely right. We did have this conversation last year. Wait, yep, you're absolutely right. What is my dumbass thinking? What am I thinking? Why would I ever doubt?
And Baltimore had home field advantage last year.
Why would I ever doubt Patrick Mahomes? He's never literally given me a reason to doubt him.
And that's why I'm at. I'm like, look, they could lose. I think, like I've said before, I think the Bills and the Ravens, this is their best shot to knock the bully out. They could lose. I'm not betting on it. If they lose, they just lose. They ain't finna be on my watch. I am giving him Tom Brady, Michael Jordan treatment. If y'all lose, that's just because y'all lost. Not because I said y'all was going to lose. Bang, you said all season that you're taking the field when it comes to who's going to win the championship. Do you still feel that way, or do you think the Chiefs going to actually get it done?
I still feel that way only because it's hard to win 3. Like, you playing all of these games, attrition, and all of that stuff. I'm not as confident as I was at the beginning of the season, but I'm still taking the field on this case. But it's hard for me to look at the Kansas City Chiefs and not think that it's not going to happen. Like, they got the easiest road. When you look at it as number 1 seed, you do have the easiest road. When you look at who they're going up against, the Houston Texans. Remember when Deshaun was there and they was up 21-0.
That great comeback.
And that great comeback, like, that was one of the few games where I looked at them up 21-0 and was like, oh yeah, this game ain't over with. And what happened? They end up losing. So hell no. CJ Stroud is not winning this game for them. And then when you look at the war of attrition that's probably going to take place between the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills, it's hard for me not to say that the Kansas City Chiefs is not going to go to the Super Bowl. I think all of this is contingent on what Detroit does. And like I said, Detroit has to put their foot on the neck of the Commanders to show teams like, yo, we out here. It's the playoff time. We rested. We good. Demo out here with 3 touchdowns. Like, it has to be a game like that in order for me to change my mind Like it has to be a game not like that in order for me to change my mind about the field. But I do believe that the field right now still is going to win the Super Bowl.
We definitely gonna see how that's gonna end up, man. I'm excited to see that. I just love watch Patrick Mahomes play, and he's a psycho. I didn't know he was a psycho until I watched quarterback, and I was like, yeah, this who's my man on SpongeBob? This Squidward talking ass nigga is definitely a psycho, 100%. But if you're the Ravens or the Bills, you like this is our shot. This is our shot, and also because they're champions. Then I think the Chiefs like, all right, let's get these niggas out of here. Let's do what we gotta do against Houston and get ready for the real war. Because we gonna have a quarterback who's worthy coming in. We know about the Bills beat Kansas City this year. If you're a Ravens fan, week 1, remember that Isaiah Likely touchdown that got called back. You thinking we had him. So that's why I'm excited about that. CJ Stroud, all y'all just go away. This is what we really want to see, man. And I think that I still think when the smoke clears, man, Mahomes gonna be there with number 4. So we'll see about that. That is all we got for y'all today. These episodes are not gonna be 2.5 hours anymore because the NFL season is coming down to the end. But good show today. We'll be back on Friday. Dante be back. Mikey will be back. It'll be the full gang on here, man. Shout out to Illy for joining. What you got? You guys watching? Any of y'all watch the game at the crib tonight? What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am going from right here to right over there in that living room to watch this game. I'm not going nowhere. It's a Monday. I'm a child of God.
Monday. I can't say about Monday playoff games. Not a fan. Not a fan. I prefer 3 playoff games on Saturday, 3 playoff games on Sunday.
And this is like the least sexy matchup too. So like it's the most Monday of all the matchups.
I think it's gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna be a good game because
again, it's like pizza.
It goes back to our original thing. It goes back to our original thing. It's like pizza. But you can follow Courtney at 1-800-COLLAR-BRO on all social media platforms. You can follow Bang at GR Bang on all social media platforms. You can follow me at Barberchair Scott. Follow the Barberchair Network at Barberchair Net. Follow our partners, HMB Media, HMB Media TV on Twitter, at HMB Media on Instagram, man. And of course, you can follow, get in tune with our Patreon, patreon.com/Barberchair Network. You listen to this on a podcast version. The link is in the description box. If you're watching this on YouTube, on Twitter, or whatever, you can take your phone up to the QR code. It'll take you to the link. If you subscribe to the $10 holler, that is the Barberchair All Access tier, you will get 25% off your first order on the Barberchair Network merchandise shop. That is bcnetshop.com, man. Thank everybody. Shout out to all y'all who tuned in.
Steve Berline.
That's another one. We will be back on Friday. Enjoy the game, man. Y'all all have a good Friday, and we gonna holler at y'all.